everybody, it's me, the Library Lady. Thanks for tuning in to What's a Story. Check out another great book that you can use at home or at school. If you're a first-time viewer, thanks for viewing and checking out our books today. If you have been here before, thank you so much for your support. Don't forget to click subscribe if you have not done so that you don't miss out on these videos. They come out every week, every week on Wednesdays and Fridays, so you don't want to miss out on those. So as a former classroom teacher, an elementary school librarian, and a parent, I do love to share my passion for books with you. It's a great opportunity to learn some new titles and then some activities you can do to stay engaged with the book. So make sure you stay tuned after the book review to learn these ways you can interact with the text. Whether you have young readers or children in your home or school, you'll surely find something that you can adapt or use as you read the story. So without further ado, let's get started with today's book. It is People Don't Bite People. This is great for the beginning of the year, especially with the young readers and learners, on a little bit on good manners and how biting is not a great thing to do. So I highly recommend it at the beginning of the school year. It's a good one. It's by Lisa Wheeler. Put out by Atheneum Books, which is a subsidiary of Simon & Schuster, published in 2018. So let's take a look, a little book look, shall we? And if you are a first timer, you know, or you don't know, but I don't read the whole book, just a little portion of it due to copyright. Plus, I want you to explore the book too. So head to your local library or support your local bookstore and get a copy today. So one thing I love about it is the rhyming, which we'll talk a little bit about in the activities. And you'll see this fun kind of sing-song pattern to the story. It's good to bite a carrot. It's good to bite a steak. It's bad to bite your sister. She's not a piece of cake. It's good to bite a biscuit. It's good to bite a plum. It's bad to bite your brother. He's not a piece of gum. 'Cause people don't bite people. It's nasty and it's rude. A friend will never bite a friend. Biting is for food. And I'll stop there. And the story continues with these little rhymes and then talking about how biting is for food. And that's a repetitive line in the story. So one thing automatically is to tune into that rhyming pattern, see if your child can identify what the next rhyme will be. So for instance, in the picture, they do give a clue. It's not a piece of gum. We had plum. And so can they find the pictures that rhyme? And that's a fun activity to do. You also may want to print out pictures and have them sort them of things that they would bite and things that they would not bite. So you can make a great picture sort with that. If you don't have access to a printer or you don't feel like printing is kind of your thing, you could always do a list with the children, especially if you have a small little group there. You could write different ideas and have them volunteer things they bite and don't bite and see what they come up with. Chances are they'll get pretty creative with that. One other thing is I always add a page to the story, have them come up with something that's not in the story and see if you can create something you bite and don't write and then kind of write it in that pattern of the rhyme with them. Another fun activity I thought that might be fun for kids, especially in a time that COVID is kind of limiting our social distancing or our chance to interact, not limiting our distancing, limiting our social interaction, and people are staying apart. So with that comes that you can't interact. And so one thing you could do with this book is that we don't bite people, but we do love to share our love and our affection toward people, and maybe in different ways. So this is what I call a paper hug. And what you do is you trace your child's hand, get a nice piece of paper. It can be a sentence strip, something like that. And what they do is write a nice little message, and then they can send that to someone, whether they mail it or give it to a person. It's a great way to show that we don't bite people. What we do is help people. Hands are for helping, for hugging, for talking and sharing, and focus on the positive behavior. So it might be fun to make a paper hug and focus on a good behavior. So those are just a few ideas. I definitely focus in rhyming. I definitely focus on the things they can and cannot bite, and then give them a chance to show what you could do in a fun way to interact with others. So thanks so much for tuning in. Again, make sure you click subscribe. If you have any comments or suggestions, I'd love to see that in the comments below. And we'll see you next time on What's the Story. Happy reading.